Okay, let's unpack this. When you think Italy, what comes to mind? Probably, the Colosseum, Venice, maybe
The
Tuscany.
classics, right? Sunshine, pasta, ancient
Right.
ruins.
Exactly. But Italy is, well, it's so much deeper than that, isn't it? It's this incredibly intricate tapestry full of hidden layers, um, really distinct regional identities. Sometimes they feel almost like different
hmm
countries. So today, we're diving beyond those cliches.
Good.
Our mission for this deep dive, a journey into two really distinct northern regions, Trentino Alto Adige and Piedmont. We've pulled together a bunch of sources, history, geography, travel stuff, food insights.
A real mix.
Yeah, to give you a kind of shortcut, a way to really grasp their unique cultures, their histories, and of course the flavors. The goal is you walk away with a much richer picture of Italy's diversity.
And what's so fascinating here is seeing how these two regions, I mean, they're neighbors geographically, but they tell such remarkably different stories.
Right.
It's a powerful look at how geography and history, these twin forces, they don't just influence identity, they actually forge it, even within one country. Every interaction, every power shift, every cultural mix leaves this living mark you can still see today.
Okay, so let's start with Trentino Alto Adige. Our research paints it as this genuine cultural frontier.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, imagine the stunning alpine landscape where Latin traditions meet strong Germanic heritage, and you've still got echoes of ancient Rhaeto-Romance languages.
Latin, yeah. Spoken in some valleys still.
Exactly, Latin. It creates this unique bilingual identity. Italian and German are just woven into daily life. You might even hear Latin in these more remote valleys. Like you said, it's this delicate linguistic mosaic.
And that mosaic, it's not just quaint. It's a direct result of its incredibly deep and, frankly, complex history.
How so?
Well, you've got ancient Roman and Celtic interactions, then almost 5 centuries under Austro-Hungarian influence.
Wow, 5 centuries.
Yeah, before it eventually came back to Italy after World War I. And now it has this special autonomous status, all that history. It's shaped this really resilient sort of hybrid identity.
So, like, people are maybe more adaptable, navigating different cultures daily.
Exactly, a kind of bridge-building spirit. You see it in their local government, their blend of Northern and Southern European ways. It's quite practical, really.
Okay, fascinating. Now, let's pivot. Let's head west, down from the peaks to Piedmont.
Piedmont, foot of the mountains.
The name says it all, right? Nestled there in the northwest, cradled by the Alps. Our sources talk about this mix of Latin roots, but also this really strong Savoyard legacy.
The House of Savoy, hugely important.
Right, and that legacy, plus influences from France and Switzerland over the border, you can actually see it in the architecture, the local customs. It feels grander somehow.
It does. And its history is such a contrast to Trentino Alto Adige.
Yeah.
If you connect it to the bigger Italian picture,
Mm.
well, you get these two very different historical anchors.
How?
Piedmont was the engine room of Italian unification, the Risorgimento.
Okay.
Under the House of Savoy, it led that whole movement. Turin, its capital, was even Italy's first capital for a bit.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's significant. And you feel that history in the land. Think battlefields like Marengo. Napoleon won a big one there.
Right.
Or the Siege of Turin back in 1706. That really cemented Savoy power. It's not just local stuff, it's Italian history writ large. Ambition, power, nation building.
Okay, so that history, that drive, must show up in their traditions today. Right. Let's get into the vibrant traditions, the community life.
Definitely.
Trentino Alto Adige first. It really shines with its folk traditions. The research shows they thrive local festivals, alpine bands, village choirs, food rituals.
Yes, down through generations.
Yes, especially in the remoter valleys, community life pulses with these older customs. Choral music, folk bands are absolutely central.
It feels very rooted, very communal.
It does. And it's not just stuck in the past. The Bonporti Music Conservatory in Trento nurtures new talent, keeping classical and folk traditions alive. Festivals celebrate mountain hymns, chamber music. It's a living thing.
And what's key there, I think, is how deeply communal these traditions are. They're not just shows. They're tied to the alpine environment. It's like a dialogue between the people and the mountains.
A dialogue through music and food. I like that.
Exactly. Expressing connection, shared heritage.
Okay, hold that thought of quiet mountain hymns, because now we shift to Piedmont and things get, well, explosive.
Chuckles. You mean Ivrea?
Oh, yeah. The Ivrea Carnival. Our sources call its Battle of the Oranges epic, a dramatic, messy reenactment of rebellion.
It's wild. Orange throwing teams on foot versus carts.
You
symbolizing revolt against some medieval tyrant. The smell of citrus must be overwhelming.
I can only imagine. Total sensory overload. A unique blast of local pride. And then there's Asti's Palio.
Another historical one, the horse
Oh, yeah.
race.
Right. A medieval-style bareback race going back to the 13th century with these grand processions, everyone in amazing period costumes. It's pure spectacle.
So you see the contrast immediately, don't you?
Totally. Trentino, communal, musical, alpine, Piedmont, grand theatrical historical reenactments, more dramatic.
Definitely more dramatic. And we can't forget the Elbow White Truffle Fair in Piedmont.
Ah, yes. The truffle.
It's more than a market. It's a world-famous culinary and cultural event. Turns a local delicacy into this huge celebration of gastronomy in the land, luxury and agriculture, hand in hand.
Okay, speaking of gastronomy, let's talk food. Because, I mean, this is Italy.
Crucial.
And the differences here are really telling. Trentino Alto Adige is that flavorful crossroads we mentioned.
Right.
In Trentino, you get Italian classics, but cross into Alto Adige and bam, Austrian-German flavors hit you.
Gain it early, speck.
Those bread dumplings, yes. Speck, the smoked ham. Sauerkraut, strudel. And regional cheeses like Trentin-Grana.
Proper hearty mountain food, some of it.
Totally. But the local stuff goes even deeper. Carne salata that cured, spiced beef,
Delicious raw or grilled.
puzzone di Moena cheese, wonderfully stinky, schüttelbrot, that crispy rye bread, marinor wurst sausages, and grauquets, that sharp gray cheese,
An acquired taste, perhaps?
maybe. And then there are the seasonal communal foods. Zelten, the Christmas fruitcake made with family rituals,
Real festive tradition.
and unique old breads like Becci Panzolini and Cuccolar, rooted in rural life. It's literally history you can taste.
And this really gets to that question.
Right.
How does the food reflect these different cultural lines?
Yeah.
In Trentino Alto Adige, you see that seamless blend, Italian, Austrian, German, right there on the plate. It's not just side by side. It's a true fusion, an edible history of shifting borders and mixing peoples.
A culture of integration.
Precisely. Learn to integrate, not just absorb.
Okay, now Piedmont. Our sources call it a gastronomic heavyweight,
Understatement.
and it's the birthplace of the slow food movement. That alone says so much about their philosophy, doesn't it? Quality, tradition, sustainability.
Connection to the land, pleasure with responsibility, as they say.
Piedmont has these absolute global stars. Barolo wine.
The king of wines.
Those amazing white truffles from Alba. And so many artisanal specialties. Tajarin pasta, those thin egg noodles, agnolotti pasta parcels, bagna
The
cauda,
garlic and anchovy dip, yeah.
Yep.
Great with vegetarian.
canna cotta, obviously. Vermouth, it started here. And Nutella, Giandiotto chocolates.
Hazelnut heaven. It's a region that has genuinely shaped world food.
So comparing them.
Well, Trentino Alto Adige offers that fascinating blend, that melting pot. Piedmont, while it embraces influences, really focuses on its own rich regional ingredients, elevating them through that slow food idea.
Celebrating its own terroir.
Exactly. One is about fusion, the other about elevation of the indigenous. Both incredible, just different approaches.
Okay, let's touch on language and style. How people talk, how they dress, another window, right? In Trentino Alto Adige, we've got Italian, German, Latin, weaving that linguistic fabric. You can almost hear it in the air. Mountain melody, maybe. Or seeing spätzle and gnocchi on the same menu.
That blend again.
Yeah, and maybe hearing some playful Latin phrases. It's like a symphony of languages.
And that diversity is just central to its identity as a cultural frontier. It's living proof of centuries of interaction, coexistence. It implies this daily flexibility,
A way of bridging divides naturally.
Right. It affects more than just language.
Now, Piedmontese. That's the local Romance dialect there, distinct from standard Italian. And it has these great expressions, like the proverb, esageramunanenen.
Let's not exaggerate.
Yeah.
Classic Piedmontese understatement, humility.
Love that. And they use net at the end of sentences sometimes, like a friendly tag.
A bit like the Canadian, maybe, adds warmth. And simple things like adieu for hello, grazie for thanks, arvetse for goodbye. It feels very grounded.
And clothing, traditional dress.
Always tells a story.
In Trentino Alto Adige, the traditional outfits detract are apparently super decorative and specific to each valley.
Right. Intricate embroidery, sometimes peacock feathers on belts, wool jackets, dirndls, lederhosen.
A real storybook, alpine look, worn proudly for festivals, its wearable history.
Definitely. While in Piedmont, the vibrant costumes come out more for those big ceremonies like the Palio or Carnival.
Richer fabrics, heraldic designs maybe. reflecting that more aristocratic, dramatic history.
I think so, yes. A different kind of statement.
Okay, finally, let's talk places. Iconic locations. Trentino Alto Adige, you have to mention
Oh,
Trento.
for sure. The Council of Trent City, Buon Consiglio Castle dominating the view, elegant piazzas, and that amazing MUC Science Museum by Renzo Piano.
Right, blending science and nature. And then the Dolomites.
Ah, the Dolomites.
Yeah.
UNESCO World Heritage, those jagged peaks, the trails, the wood carving traditions, just breathtaking.
Plus vineyards on steep slopes, castles on cliffs, those crystal clear lakes, like the top bit of Lake Garda.
And what's fascinating is how both regions really weave their landscapes into their identity.
How do you mean?
Well, in Trentino Alto Adige, the Dolomites aren't just scenery. They shape the culture, the crafts, the resilience of the people, the food in the valleys. It's an active relationship.
I see. And Piedmont.
Well, Turin, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Baroque splendor, those arcaded piazzas, the Mole Antonelliana.
With the Cinema Museum, right. And the royal residences, the Egyptian Museum, world-class stuff.
Absolutely. But then beyond the city, you have those UNESCO vineyard landscapes, Lagni, Roro, Monferrato,
Yeah.
rolling hills, incredible beauty.
That patchwork quilt of wine country.
Exactly. Plus charming towns like Alba, Asti, Vercelli, and grand castles like Venoria or Rivoli, urban style, and amazing rural landscapes.
Wow, what an incredible journey across just 2 regions. We've really uncovered so much diversity in this deep dive.
Haven't we just?
It just hammers home how Trentino Alto Adige and Piedmont, yes, they're both Italian, but they offer such vastly different experiences, shaped by history, geography, culture.
Like two different worlds almost,
Yeah.
tucked inside one country.
And what really stands out to me is how these differences don't weaken Italy. They make its overall tapestry so much richer. It shows Italy isn't this single, simple thing. It's a collection of vibrant microcultures, each adding its own color, its own flavor, its own story, local identity thriving within the whole.
Absolutely. And exploring that richness is just so rewarding. So thinking about all this, how might understanding these regional nuances deepen your appreciation for Italy next time? It makes you want to look beyond the obvious spots.
Right, or maybe, more broadly, how might it encourage you to explore the complex layers within other places that seem homogeneous on the surface? There's always more to discover, isn't there?
If you know where to look.
And how to listen?